Thing that motivates us. It's all about contributing to our well-being, to our wellness in life. And my opinion is that if we live a life with purpose, we're already halfway there.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Wednesdays with Wallis. Before I forget, click on the link below and subscribe to our Bold Not Old Wednesdays with Wallis channel, please, if you would be so kind. Thank you. Now, today our topic is the silver economy and entrepreneur's dream. Is it? Is that true? Well, I'd like to put the question out there and then perhaps, answer it. I think it is. And I'm hope that after I've had the next few minutes with you, and I just quickly look at the time and make sure that I don't talk for too long. But it is the entrepreneur's dream, and it's certainly aging entrepreneurs. It is certainly entrepreneurs that are looking at aging. Now, whether that means that you yourself are 65 plus or 60 plus or getting older, or that you're looking for a entrepreneurial business opportunity and you're thinking, well, where is all the growth area? And yes, I get it, the AI, chat, GBT, all the rest of the stuff that's going on around, AI and what it's going to be doing in the future and how big it's going to be and et cetera, et cetera. And it's already big and there's already lots of people jumping on that wagon. And I'm sure that it represents, hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, and that's really, really fabulous. But not to discount and take from, many, many other opportunities. And that doesn't mean that you can't apply those things like artificial intelligence or apply some of those things to, being an entrepreneur in the space of the silver economy. That's what I'm talking about, because I'm talking about, a paradigm shift, a socio-economic paradigm shift that's happening and has been happening for quite some time, which is why there is so much being written about old entrepreneurs versus, outperforming younger entrepreneurs who start up, and are founders of, the startup companies. And, being a bit older, and last week on Wednesdays with Wallis, I talked about that. I talked about older entrepreneurs outperforming younger founders and shattering the whole, concept about ageism and aging. And, a lot of people are on, the fight for that, fighting about things. I don't subscribe to fighting about anything or fighting anything, because I think that sets up, for me, that type of resistance and setting that up, to me, says that, you're focusing on that. That's your focus. And I've always subscribed to, and I do subscribe very strongly to, what you focus on multiplies, and what you focus on all the time, you tend to attract into that space all of the sameness of things. So if you're resisting and you're, pardon me, fighting against something, and I see this all the time. I'm, a great observer of people, and I see people resisting things, and I see them, I look at their lives and I see them, for an example, I watch people, spending all their time. They seem to spend all their time arguing or fighting with someone over something. There's always some issue, something coming up, something going on around it. And I look at that and think, well, what's all that about? That's just more of the same. So to me, when I look at it, I think that the sorts of things that they do and attract, excuse me and my nose, the sorts of things that they do and attract into their space are things around resistance and fighting with people and issues, and they tend to attract those issues into their life, into their surrounding things, and they seem to be forever bloody, fighting over something or arguing over something or going to court over something or whatever. And I think, oh, give it up, give that up and move on to something more prosperous and that would be of much more advantage to you. So what you focus on multiplies. So I want you to focus on, one, being an entrepreneur. Now, you may not think that you are, but you are, because we are all entrepreneurial in some way. Even the women in Japan who are, producing bento boxes for, their grandkids' lunches or their children's lunches. There's a competitiveness in that. They want to have the best bento boxes. They want to have the best lunches. They want to, they want their kids to be recognised that, oh, look what they've got in their lunch. Look what's going on there. Who put that together? Your mother's clever and, wow, what does your mum do? She's amazing. So that's entrepreneurial. That's being entrepreneurial. That's showing initiative and boldness. Boldness is about initiative. So I'm talking about, can you, is it an entrepreneur's dream? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And it's especially an entrepreneur's dream if you're an aging entrepreneur, because you're the people I'm interested in. You're the people I'm focused on. You're the people that we're going to be having join us at Bold Not Old in our new membership area and in our, think tank area, where you're going to be doing, 12-week course with us to begin with as part of your membership to help you, launch your dream or your passion or your idea or whatever it is. And there's no judgment there from us or myself about that. It could be a hobby thing that you want to do and you'd like to earn a few bob out of it, or it could be, a full business idea that you have that you want to launch into the world. And of course, the first thing that stops us from doing that are things like, oh, who'd listen to me and I'm not enough. But we'll be talking about that, and we cover that in our in the first session, actually, of the Bold Not Old membership and our Entrepreneurs Think Tank. So we'll take you from the beginning to launch and show you how to do that, and then hold your hand and keep answering your questions for the next few months afterwards. And then, of course, we're going to have events and all sorts of things that are going to be happening. So if you want to stay on with your membership, you can, and it's inexpensive and it's fabulous. So look out for that. We're going to be launching, I think, after next week, we're going to be promoting that, and the launch is around the 24th, I think, of July. So look out for that. We have changed the dates a couple of times, but that's because we've had just a couple of techno setbacks in our learning curve. But I think we're, pretty on track at the moment, and we've just about got everything ready to go. It'll be a few more days and we'll be there. So, the silver economy and entrepreneur's dream. There's so much in there because, one, we have an aging population. One, we have a whole bunch of people who have residual income and they want to have more of what they already have, meaning they want a sustainable life. They certainly don't want to go backwards, like taking the kid to a lolly shop and saying, well, you know, you give the kid a lolly and then you turn around and take it off him or her and say, no, you can't have that, I've changed my mind. Well, don't be surprised if the kid screams its head off because, you know, you've taken away something that you've given the child that it wants. And so this is about us. It's about you and I if you're 60 plus, and it's about us producing, making, adding income, consistent income to ourselves and our life and our coffers so that we can have what we have already and sustain that and maintain that. And if you haven't got it and you want it, well, this is also an excellent way to do that. So it's about us older entrepreneurs being able to share our skills and our knowledge. And yes, I started off, you know, quite a number of years ago, I had that I'm not enough syndrome. And, you know, I never thought that I, you know, was good enough, had enough. Who'd want to listen to me? What did I have to say? I went through all that. I run the gambit on all that. And that certainly, you know, stopped me for a long time on moving ahead and doing some of the things I'd really like to have done. I just sort of felt, you know, I wasn't enough and, you know, who'd want to listen to me? So if you're suffering from that, I'm going to help you with that too, because I certainly, you know, learned how to overcome those types of blocks or blockages and get rid of that sort of, you know, self-talk. We just simply, sweethearts, we don't need it and we don't want it, and it'll stop us from living our lives totally, absolutely, fully, full on. And that doesn't mean that you don't get any rest, and I'm asking you to go out there and beat the drum day and night. I'm not. I'm simply suggesting to you that you want to live your life, you know, full on. You want to live it as and put in as many hours as you want to put in, and you want to be rewarded for that. And that's what we're about at Bold Not Old. So if any of that appeals to you, it's the silver economy, and it is an entrepreneur's dream, because those of us, as I said, that are older entrepreneurs, you know, it's a great time for us because we're living in a day where we have an ageing population. We have issues around ageism and all those sorts of things, and people are spending money and governments are putting money into those areas, you know, to help us change mindset, to, you know, help with housing. All sorts of things are going on. All sorts of creative and innovative things are taking place, because it's not just about, you know, making money for ourselves out of those things you might think are, you know, the obvious, but, you know, there's a lot of things around wellness and mindfulness and, you know, all of those areas, apart from the fact that we like to, most of us like to look good and feel good. And so, you know, it runs the gambit across the board of all the things that we want and or we still desire to have. And the silver economy affords that for us as, you know, aging and, you know, older entrepreneurs. Click on the link below and subscribe to Wednesdays with Wallis. I've always got something to say. And over this last time, it's certainly been a lot about the silver economy, because I'm very, very excited about the possibilities. And anyway, what the hell else? You know, what are you going to be doing? What else do you want to do? You want to go and sit in coffee shops and have a coffee? Or do you want to just, you know, meet a few friends every morning and have a coffee and go home and, you know, put your lunch on, eat your lunch and, you know, I don't know. What are you going to be doing? You know, we have to redefine retirement, because none of us are in a position where, you know, we can just simply retire and put our feet up. Well, not without a lot of concern and a lot of worry about how we're going to, on an ongoing basis, afford that. So I believe this is the answer to it. And come across and join our membership at Bold Not Old. You won't be disappointed. It's fabulous. It's amazing, and we're going to be putting out some amazing things, and you're going to be meeting a lot of other amazing people. And when you do that, you'll realise that you're not alone, and all of the problems and the challenges and all those things that have come along for you have come along for a whole bunch of other people as well. So the answers are there for you. What's the movie? I'm out there, or it's out there, or whatever. It is. And so I'm encouraging you to be your best. Share your knowledge, share your skills. What do you want to do? You want to die and take it all with you? Not a good look, love. So, share it. Share what you have, because, the Hopi Indians have a great saying, we're the ones we've been waiting for. And that is the truth. We are the ones we've been waiting for, because we do have a lot of the answers. And that's not being egotistical about anything. It's just simply experience, years, and you can't put an old head on young shoulders. And, we've got a lot to offer. And so if you think you haven't, well, I want you to change that mindset, because you have. You're amazing, you're fabulous, you're spectacular. And in fact, all the people that'll be coming on board with our membership at Bold Not Old will be fabulous people, because that's what we'll attract. Thank you for listening. Click on the link, subscribe to Wednesdays with Wallis. Next week, we'll be talking more about some of the things around the silver economy, maybe a few more things. You never know what I'm going to be throwing in, what comes up during the week, what somebody says, what answers I may need to address, or questions I might need to address, and, perhaps have some, input and answers to that. Who knows? But watch Wednesdays with Wallis and you'll find out. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.